Welcome to Astro Mondays, everybody. I'm super excited to be bringing on Christopher Witecki onto the show and also to hear from you guys on what life has been like for you in the last week since we have spoke last, since we've listened last, since we participated in this conversation last. So we've been here, we were here 7 days ago and we're here today. Why don't you guys let me know in the comment just so we can get some context of how the world is doing right now, where you're coming from. So where are you geolocated? And then also what's been going on energetically for you? What have you been feeling in your mind, in your body, in your emotions, in your realm? Let us know what's going on in your realm while I get Christopher up on this stage. Time is ticking by. Hi, Perth, Scotland, says Julie. And what's going on, Julie? Hey, I'm in England. Clary Jane. What's going on, guys? Energetically. You can't hear me. You have to be able to hear me if people are saying where they're coming from. Fremont, Ohio. I did forget to turn on my router extender, though. Netherlands. Mexico. Wisconsin. Aggravated by everything. That's a good example of what I'm looking for. Venezuela. Texas. Guys, tune in. I got a lacrosse ball here. Tune in to how life has been and let us know. East Coast, tired, anxious. Like why? Like why? I think that's you giving us insight onto what you're thinking, not actually a question for me. Hello from California. Hello from Sweden, Norway, Sweden, Southern BC, Canada, South Africa. Synchronicities abound but exhausted. Feels like everything is crashing all at once. New Jersey, last week sucked. My dog is sick, had to change plans. It's all in the cards. Hi from Saxony, Germany. Keep them coming, guys. We will address all of this when Chris comes and joins us. Hey, I'm interested you. Portugal, Hawaii, Indian. Hi from Brisbane, Australia. Denise says, overwhelmed with caring for dementia stepmom. Everything is coming to fruition and high vibes here, says Helen. Clary Jane says, feeling like time is going quite fast. I definitely agree with that. And feeling quite drained and burned out, but also inspired and feeling ready for new shifts. It's actually, you get a really good context for time when you do something either every day or every week, because then you're like, wow, you remember back. So I do this show every week and I remember back, it sometimes feels like it was yesterday and sometimes feels like it was super far away. Enlightened with clarity, says Yogi Love. I'm expected to maintain a smile for my patients when I'm struggling internally. You're skilled and talented enough to do that. Hi, beautiful souls. Everybody who works with clients goes through that. Surprise, Arizona. That's actually a name? Surprise, Arizona. Maybe it's pronounced differently. Surprise, Arizona. Exclamation part. I definitely, in a transition, and energy is shifting for the better. Energy does feel like it's getting more in alignment. New beginning, starting, challenge, and exciting. Christopher, it's a town, is surprise. For me, it feels like everything was like getting all jumbled up a couple weeks ago and uncertain. And even though it's still all in the middle of the shift. It still feels like it doesn't still feel like, it still feels like it's in the middle of the shift. It also feels like clarity is coming, like the canvas is starting to become apparent, but the picture isn't completely clear yet. Surprise, Arizona is a town. It's next to Peoria. Feeling a big change coming. I'm feeling a change coming too, and that change is me not being on here alone anymore, and Chris joins us. I keep on inviting him. I hope it's going to his phone. I've invited him like 5 times. But this is the Monday ordeal. Feeling liminal. Liminal. Feeling. Scott, what does liminal mean? Kansas City, Montana. Clean slate now. Excited for the future. I'm very earth-oriented and feel grounded when I'm in nature. But over the last week, I was in a fog. Felt no drive, awoke today and feel like a little weight has lifted. You know, there's been this weird fog the whole week in Southern California, but today it's not so much. I mean, there's been a fog for the last few years. Seems like it's been laid down by planes, but um, it's been really thick this last week. I was even going to go outside this morning and just stayed inside because of the air didn't seem too clean. Feel like I need a detox, says Clary Jane. Need explanation, Scott. Yes, I do. Liminal, the place in between. Liminal means the place in between. The middle path. Agreed, it's bright and sunny today. And smoke in the SoCal from the fires. That I forgot about. The biggest fire ever. Seems like nobody's talking about. I had to go keep on looking at it. What's it called? I want to say it starts with the G. I can't even remember. But it was 40% contained a couple of days ago, so I quit looking because it was going 10%, 20%, 30%, 33%, 40% contained. So I'm assuming it's getting better. How are you? So I just kind of explained how I was. Everything felt a little bit corrupted and confusing 2 weeks ago. Last week it was starting to feel like some forward momentum. And then today I'm feeling like, yes, the Gifford fired. I'm feeling like I can see through the fog and it's starting to clear up. And the picture is starting to be clear. All right, guys, I did this last week. It's been 10 minutes, and I think he's here. I see him. I got him up. 1 second, everybody.
Hi guys.
Chris, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Thank you for your patience.
All
Time
good.
is not my friend right now. It's not my
Yeah.
so much
So
going on.
that's what it seems like for everybody. There was more comments about the mess than there was about things being clear. Um,
There's more comments about what?
I said the mess, just like the mess of life and
Oh,
feeling anxious and not knowing what's going on. There was like overwhelming amount of people talking about that as opposed to just a few people that felt like they were clear and happy.
right. Well, clear and happy is going to be a rare thing because you have to be a nerd and have geeked out on this for the last 4 years to actually pull that off. You know what I mean? Like, and so only a few of us really cared that, like that's what we're here to do. Everyone else is going to go through this house. We went through it a little bit, but the good news is everyone's doing it at the same time, so don't feel bad. Just like we all went through depression at the same time, we all went through World War II at the same time. It's similar. Like it's as powerful as World War II. It's as powerful as the depression. It's as powerful as the that big plague that hit with I can't remember. It was not bubonic plague, but yes, that would be the same. You
Was you gonna
know,
say Black Flag?
Think of the flu, the flu, the
Spanish flu?
Spanish flu. Yes, exactly. Something of these events, and but this is different. This is a conscious event where the world first it may look like everything's going to hell, and that's where we're at. And that's because everything that you see is a result of our sickness. We built our world when we were sick. We built our world when we were damaged. We built our world when we were distracted. We didn't know any of this, and so we did the best we could. But when you start to wake up and see what healthy is in yourself and healthy everywhere, you realize everything is diseased. Everything. And that's not a bad thing. It's just flawed in so many ways because we are flawed. And so when we begin to correct ourselves, we immediately see the world falling apart. But here's the thing. We are the world. You are creating it consciously right now. This is you that's falling apart. The old parts of you are falling apart. And that's good because those parts were built on building around fear. Those parts were designed to avoid pain and not go for what your heart wants. Everything you built was defensive with you on the defense the whole time and always on the fence about what to do because both choices didn't seem right. They both weren't right. They both weren't right. That's the thing. You're going to realize that we were completely in the wrong ballpark, you know, like, we were in a football stadium, trying to sell ice skates. That's how ass backwards we actually are. Now that's okay. The truth is that we're very young gods. We're not good at this. We don't even realize we are gods. We don't even realize that we make the magic. Like, so one thing that's cool about heaven is like, that's fine. It's all right. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the big thing, in the big picture. And when you make it not matter, it will no longer be matter. Matter falls apart. Right. No longer. It's what matters. It turns into matter. So that's why they're the same word. Right.
Yeah.
In God's language, the same sound is the same word. There's
Right.
no right, and both of our meanings usually is correct. Sometimes there's a polluted meaning, like sometimes there's a meaning that is like absolutely backwards or different. That is what you call a dark spell. Someone spelled the word differently to lead you the wrong way. God knows when that happened. Probably when the monks were copying Bibles. Who knows? But at this time, AI can figure that out. That'd be a good AI task. Hey, AI, go through all the reading and figure out when the fuck we separated here from here. You know, like here from here. Like when did that happen? But I'm going through AI, like telling the difference of the different. It's just this is where I'm using AI, which is interesting. It's like, hey, what's the meaning of here in its history? What's the meaning of here in its history? And how they split and when they split and whose idea was that, anyways? And just like wow, it's just like wow, like it's like you can go to the library and research for 2 weeks in a second.
Yeah.
It's so
Literally a
cool.
second.
Yeah, it's like, and they're like, "Excuse me, Christopher. Maybe I'll put it this way, And the damn thing like weaves in the last conversation we just had. It'd be like that last thing we just talked about with your
Right.
bicycle. Like, shut the fuck up. Like it's just like, whoa, blow my mind. They have artificial intelligence. It's really a surprise, a pleasant surprise, because it's quite a tool to have something to think for you too. Have another thinker in the house, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but nonetheless, we're in a moment where we were just talking about in today's meeting. I mean, the cool thing about these shows is that I have my meetings with my best astrologers on Monday mornings, and we go over the future together. And we're a few chapters ahead. Like we know what's going to happen next, but we know on day by day. So it's heavy. Like these are episodes of a drama. These aren't like charts. You know what I mean? Because we get into it. But what we realized was that reality is it's going to collapse. Now, what the f does that mean? Well, I think it means actually nothing in the physical world, although we do predict that there could be some. We are going to make the prediction of serious joy. We don't usually make predictions, okay? But we're going to make a prediction. We're going to be bold. And we're going to say we have a sense that some truth to 9/11 will come out. And
Like mainstream come out.
officially. hmm with charges to people after.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we feel like there'll be indictments.
A couple decades too late, but yeah.
No. Well, we feel it's a tactical to begin the process of looking at the corruption, and the distance of time is most likely the safest padding and boundary that will prevent chaos.
I like, so that is matching to what you were saying about the 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 fact that we're doing everything wrong. We've been doing everything wrong. All of our foundations are built on wrong premises. And so internally, like there's aspects of my life that I'm like, I literally haven't been paying attention to this at all for my entire life. And now it's time
Right.
to like restructure this. For other people, it's, you know, other aspects. And there's like a little bit of adjustment period needed for that. But then obviously you're saying that this is also external happening in reality all around us because it's all mirroring, we're all mirroring each other. And this is an example of that.
We are the external.
Right.
I mean, everything is you. That's the weird crazy. That's what's crazy. You get that's hard to fathom until you start going down the rabbit hole, and then you start to understand why. But
You
you'll
also can
understand.
do experiments on this, like how you're thinking, and you can like just say like, well, I wonder if I just completely be a different person and now I'm going to be happy instead of being an asshole to everybody. And then you'll start realizing that like everybody starts being happier around you when before everybody was an asshole because you were just viewing asshole in the world.
You'll also realize to add to your comment that it just came down to deciding to do it.
Right.
That's all it
Just like
took. That's all it took. Yep. That's all it took. Oh, okay. That's that's actually how powerful we are. Like, okay. You can just
right.
stop decades and decades of like horrible shit. And there will be, there will be people who do that. I mean, lots of people do that. There'll be bad guys who do that, and we won't believe that they're good now. Like, and
Ah,
but they are good because they're coming with us, and they were meant to the whole time, and they were on our team the whole time. They were just brainwashed to think they were the bad guy. A lot of bad guys, in your life. I hate to tell you. No, I don't hate to tell you. I actually love to tell you. I get a kick out of it. Actually, to be honest, fully honest, I get a kick out of telling you this that the person that hurt you the worst is probably your best friend. Because when you have to have a lesson on Earth, it's like, let's say, this is a game. So I keep saying, we're in a game. And in this game, you come down and you say, I'm gonna play this game. I want to build my characters, this and this. I want to build up my avatars, this and this. It's fun. It's like we're building something cool, this character over multi lifetimes. And so we go into this game and we say, okay, well, this one's going to be based on armed robbery, and I end up becoming paralyzed because of the bullet. Whoa, sounds like a good movie you want to watch, right? So who's going to play the shooter? Who am I going to hate for the rest of my eternity? Oh God, I think it should be my best friend because I know if it's her, she'll do the nicest. She'll be kind to me. She won't, I just know she'll do it the best. She won't hurt me too bad. And so we ask our best friend, like, hey, will you come play the shooter that I hate in the game, and do this for me because and I'll do that for you. And you got to have that rape scene, and next year I will be that person. And it's
yeah.
like, and that's how nothing it matters.
You're talking
Like,
about like soul best friend, right? Like,
yes. Yeah,
yeah.
someone you've been incarnate, basically a twin flame almost. I mean, a soulmate, someone you've been like working with and working with and working with and
Dude,
working with.
that's
You've
a
been
complete reframe. If like the
totally.
villain of your life is actually your soulmate, the
It
person that
is.
you're completely obsessed with, even in emotions of hate and anger,
Yeah,
is
it's like
likely your
Oprah's.
soulmate.
Oprah's like playing like a young white boy, and she's thinking about Gail, but Gail is, the judge sentencing her. You know what I mean? Like that's how it is. Um, that's how it is. That's how out of it. That's how clueless we are. That's how clueless we are. And we forget it because it's so good. I mean, the technology of this reality is so fucking good. I'm convinced it's real. Convinced, right? And that's the whole
Yeah.
point. But that's the other point. When you're convinced it is. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, if you were not convinced, it would not be. In fact, that's how you leave. You suddenly are not convinced. You know, ascension comes down to be like, oh, I'm in a game. Oh, now I'm starting to see now I'm seeing things in the matrix. Now I'm seeing, did that weather pattern just repeat itself? Oh, geez. I think I'm short circuiting. I'm starting to not believe this anymore. And so we stop believing that we're in a place, and then it starts falling apart. And then we wake up in the middle of a lab and we're like, shit, I can't hold it anymore. I've ascended,
Right. Yeah. Things will
right?
start breaking down, and you're forced to deal with a whole bunch of paradoxical concepts And that's where ascension symptoms can come from if you're not prepared to deal with.
Paradox is the way out. It's the manhole because you have to be and not be. That's when it doesn't exist. So
Right.
all the paradoxes are be not be, be not be, be not be, be not be, be not be. No, there's no more be. It's be not be. That's God. God is be not be. So once you be not be all everywhere, then you're out because you can't hold it anymore. You had to be only one and not the other. That's the duality. Be one and not the other. I need to get a power cord and someone's at the door. So entertain for a minute.
I'm going to plug in my phone, everybody, so you guys entertain yourself.
Yes, sir.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll just talk while I'm plugging in my phone here. The ULT is a fast, slow track, sassy, people laughing. I'm looking at comments here. My ex-boyfriend hurt me the most, but I did my inner work and healing, and now I'm attracting completely different people, and I'm on the highest timeline here,
Wow.
waiting and ready to help people on their something. I don't see the rest.
Oh, they hit that character limit. There we go. We got plugged in here. We got plugged in at step 4. 4% power.
I'm plugging in right now too.
That's breakdown breakthrough right there. That's funny.
Breakdown, breakthrough, yeah,
4:30 Paris
exactly.
time. Couldn't sleep anymore. Well, okay. So what's been happening? Let's see
I
here.
literally woke up exactly at 4:30 yesterday,
Ron,
so it's
thank you.
interesting that comment.
Oh, I had to. Actually, I woke up and cried like a baby. I had a breakdown last week where it was after our show, but I woke up in horrible pain in my intestinal area. So there was some emotion I couldn't digest, and and I realized a lot what it was. It had been still in the habit of holding things in, like, and I hold things in because I'm always in professional mode. I'm not
Right.
trying to I'm not trying to deny my feelings, but like not in front of my colleagues, not in front of my son, not, it's like so many things to not in
Yeah.
front of. And so I realized like, oh shit, I'm always in front of somebody, camera or whatever. I'm always reserving that for my own sake, for my own privacy, for my own dignity, for my own sacredness. It's not even like that's the thing. It's like it's not even for a bad reason.
Right.
It's still happening. And so I had this explosion, and some of it was also karmic. It wasn't just lately kind of stuff. But nonetheless, it was like a huge cry in front of someone that needed to see me cry, which is also interesting. Because they had not been really seeing that side of me. So it's weird how it happened in front of them, and so so it was a moment, but it was at 4 a.m. Woke up at 4. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's nothing else going on.
yeah. It was that witching hour, as they say. So it's step 4. Step 4. I mean, the steps apply to everything in life, every number. So 4 o'clock is step 4. Breakdown, breakthrough. Breakdown,
Oh,
breakthrough.
that's what yeah, yeah, that's right.
Every number is a step number. So step 1 is I love. Step 2 is I feel. And watch it. Watch how your mind, you're there. Like you're there, and you're there on another level too. When you start the day, I'm going to give you some free stuff we're putting in our class. I'll give you an example of the kind of stuff we're teaching.
What
When
class
you,
and where?
this is intro to step astrology. Intro to step astrology, which is teaching you this numerological astrological engine that drives reality and is the operating system of reality, and it's all numbers, so everyone understands it, and it all adds like simple math, and it's basically that our brain is always counting everything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everything's being counted, believe it or not. Everything's being counted. And that's what we've learned. And that's like built into the bio of your body. And so you're counting steps everywhere with everything. So it's like, oh, me and my wife got married. Year 0, step 0. First year of marriage, step 0. Oh, this is our first week of school, step 0. Oh, this is our first time being in love, step 0. Oh, this is so every time, you are creating something, anytime you are in step 0. And then you're step 1, and then you're step 2. And so everything is all in steps. Everything is in steps, moving through the steps. And all the steps you're forced to change perspective. And the perspective you're forced to change is to pay attention to different states of awareness at once. So it's like, oh, at this step 12, your heart, your feelings, your beliefs. Pay attention to those. Step 13, your heart, your beliefs, and your belonging. Okay, step 14. So every step you're being forced to look at the world. And so you're systematically forced to look at the world in almost every step, but not really, because pure step zero only happens once a month. Pure step one only happens once a month. Those are the super states of awareness. Step two only happens once a month. Those are the super states of awareness. The super states of awareness are states that go through reality and then through another plane, an astral plane that's above reality that keeps things going. So there's another whole consciousness that's like basically above the ceiling, all the machinery that runs reality. There's consciousness that's just like a machinery that just runs reality. And that machinery is like all these things playing out, and the streams of consciousness are just flowing like rivers. So it's like the wiring of the matrix is like all this consciousness that flows, and so part of the conscious flow is there only has the super states go above and beyond the whole damn thing, and the substates, which are the states that are part of reality, are just here in reality. They don't exist outside of reality, right? So like the ego doesn't exist in heaven. It's a total figment of reality's imagination, and and zero boundaries don't exist. We don't have boundaries. We have no limitation of anything. We're one. The idea that there's a boundary is only exists here in this virtual reality. So like there's a lot of stuff that is foreign, right? So what I was going to say is, and I didn't think I was going to remember it exactly now because I was thinking about it. Oh, so what I was going to say is you can when you build anything in your life, you can follow these simple steps, and you will see that they follow each other sequentially every time, no matter what you're doing. It's automatic. You find yourself there. You didn't think to go there. You're like, oh, I'm in step. Oh shit, I am in step 3. Like you don't even realize it's automated. It just happens. And so when you start to become aware of each step, especially for the important things in life, that awareness takes immediate control of your life, because you were not in control because you were unaware of the step. Once you are the step, you're in control. Now you know, and because this is awareness of who you are, now the step you choose to be in, now that you know what's happening, now you see almost immediate waving of the walls of the reality. You see the matrix start to fluff. You start to see things waver. Now, what's wavering, ironically, is the entire plot. So, imagine, so your entire world starts to shift. The weather, the song on the radio, the everything. It's like AI is writing you a new movie, is what it is. And you're written in this movie that's constantly changing all around you all the time based on what you happen to pay attention to inside yourself. Inside yourself, not outside. That's what really trips people out. That's the illusion of the outer world, is that, oh, it's about this. I'm going to react to Trump. I'm going to react to this. I'm going to react to that. Y'all, you wrote that in the scene.
Right.
Now there's collective things, like I think we all collectively write things, the big things. But I'm not entirely convinced of it, because if
I
you
mean,
and I,
even the collective changes are happening because of individuals.
yes, that's the theory. But there's another idea in my mind that I haven't let go of yet, which is that you and I are asleep in heaven, and this is my dream and this is yours. And although we're talking right now, I wrote your script.
In your dream.
Yep, and you wrote mine and yours.
Yeah.
And so I wrote what
I
happened to
used
Trump.
to,
And then you wrote what happened to Trump. And, we all just wrote what happened to Trump. And that's the way it's going to be. It
I
will be the
can't,
way you write it. It'll be
yeah. And
what you need to learn, though. That's the thing. It's what you need to learn. It's not what you want. In the case of
right.
things like that, it's what you need to learn. Those big things, the angels set up with you. Okay, well, then that means you're on the Hitler Trump line, storyline. And, you will be in concentration camps, and you will, because that's what you wanted. So they're like, okay, and that's it. That's your dream. That's your reality. I'm not quite sure we're in the same one.
And I mean, I used to think about this when I was in like fifth grade, like
Wow,
what is
you're
life?
deep, dude.
And is it possible that we're all living like our own version and everybody else is just a figment of my version, which is in psychology, that's how we say dreams are, or that's what psychology
Right.
generally addresses how a dream is. And you're saying that this is all a dream, so it would make sense that we are everybody else in our own dream.
Yes, we are the AI of the humans. This
Yeah.
is actually we're the AI and we think we're the human. But where's it stop? Like maybe infinitely. I don't know. Is everything just a replica of God and a replica of God and a replica of God that thinks it's God that replicates God that thinks it's God that replicates God that thinks it's God? It's like that might be. I don't know. It's the whole mirrors thing is just like who knows how far it goes, but you have to master the present to be able to get out of it. I think we're certainly in a system that is so closed. The next layer has a lot of answers that'll just blow our mind. Like beyond our ability to think and understand. But I mean, I've never been. So I want to quote a friend of mine named Michelle, who has her own podcast. And of course, I won't think of the name when I'm put on the spot like this. I should have like plugged it correctly. So I'll come back and plug it correctly later. But she says, it's like I can't use the word dead anymore. She said to me, I was so profound. I was like, that is so profound. She's like, I can't use the word dead anymore. She had a friend pass away and she's completely talking to her friend who's dead. And she's realizing no one dies. Like it's like, well, Cole, we've always said that. No, she's like, and I would say that I'm getting goosebumps now. And this is Michelle, and I'll point you to her podcast next week. But she's wonderful to listen to because she's like way on this level, and her podcast is way on this level. Everything's way on this level. But she was saying, like I'm in a place now where I have a crazy. I mean, I have an incredible mystic who works with me named Krista, who is like the crazy experience that happened of her dialing up heaven on my behalf. And I'm having real conversations with my dead boss, saying the same shit she said to me, the same jokes, everything through Krista, who never knew her. We're having a conversation about my business. She's giving me the heaven angle and telling me what I need to do. She's not even an angel. She was never an angel. She asked me if I can be her. She can be my guide, and I said only for TV. Can you be my guide? Like you're not qualified. The other areas, is what I'm saying. And she knew it, and she knew it. And I think she was like, I know. I mean, I know that's the kind of Polish person she was. She's like she didn't claim anything she wasn't. So it's amazing to be working with my dead boss and getting notes from heaven on my scripts. Like fuck. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing to be working with Mary Magdalene, Jesus's wife. Like that's real. It's real. I mean, I try to downplay it, but it's like Jesus's wife will tell us through Krista what Jesus says, what she says. She doesn't really always agree with Jesus on this one. Like you hear the husband and wife shit between them. It's like that's funny. It's just like they have issues, right? Like, and they're twins. Like they're cast of each other. So it's like to hear that, to be on the inside of like what has been a Bible thing, and it's not novelty, it's mind blowing, right? Now, I don't even care what science says. I don't even care. I'm talking to
Right.
Mary Magdalene,
Yeah. There
you know, like,
doesn't need to be a study.
and the thing is the advice and the knowledge that comes. My friend doesn't make that shit up. Like she's not honestly, she's not that creative. Like she's a creative, wonderful person, but it's on such a. I mean, she'd be a fucking Lucas on times 10, George Lucas times 10 if she was making this up. The stuff, the facts, the figures, the stuff from history, like everything. Like it's just boom. My mind's been blown this last year and a half, knowing Krista Marie Miller and her talent, which is like the most brilliant medium I've ever met, blows every medium I've ever seen out of the water. My buddy John Scott Cruz is incredibly brilliant too, in his own way. He taps in a different way. Like different mediums tap in a different way. With Krista, it's like a phone call, right? Um, it's amazing, and that so the heaven and earth veil is thin. It's thin now. It's getting thinner and thinner. You know.
Is there somewhere where somebody can purchase those recordings of Mary Magdalene from
Yes, we're gonna have actually we have the debate. In Unite the Light, we had Mary Magdalene, Archangel Metatron, and the Palladians all on a panel. the people came who channeled them, and we talked to them for the first 15, 20 minutes. But then we like they went in and like we were talking to these entities, and they never break a beat. Like it's
Yeah.
you know. And I said at some point they were never talking to each other. Like they didn't have any side conversation. And I was like, "Are you guys having a side like you haven't had any side conversation? Are you recognizing each other in the room?" And the Palladians go, "Oh, darling, we work in multiple dimensions. We've been joking in the background the whole time." And I was just like, "Oh my god, yes, of course we're not privy to the note passing. It's like in a whole nother dimension." And it was just like, and they were both like, "Ooh." Like, it was funny that I don't know if Metatron laughed or not. I should have looked. I have to go to the tape like and see myself. Like, did Metatron fucking laugh? But because Metatron's like, he just comes out, and the guy who channels him is beautiful and brilliant. And I'll give you more explanation of these guys. When the video comes out, I'll give you a real presentation. But he has different characters he channels, like from another, like distant. I mean, the concepts are so out there. You're like, come on, this is a cheesy Star Trek episode. And then you hear the entity talking, like, oh, okay, I'll shut the fuck up now. Like because this is a real entity telling you really brilliant stuff. Rob Gutier is his name, brilliant guy. So his characters are so different, like Metatron and the other ones. They're so different. And this guy's a very humble guy, like very, very simple. Like you would not think he was an actor or anything. He's just always cool, always so cool and nice. And then he gets on stage, he's like, "Oh no!" And it's just like, what the, you know? And that's the aliens all excited to be in a human body, like, yay! And
Yeah, yeah.
they go a little over the top, like sometimes, like poor Rob. But anyways, it's we're in a moment now. That's what I'm saying. It's like our minds are about to be so blown on every level, like just blown. Just like AI is blowing our minds. Like that this computer, like what? I started off with DOS prompts, man. And now the fucking thing is answering questions for me. Like that's only in 30 years. That's I understand my grandma now. And she's like, when I was a girl, we had a horse and wagon, and then they went to the moon. It's like, it's just like, oh, that sounds cool, grandma. But now my name, like, Jesus, grandma won't kid me.
Right.
Like she won't kid. Like, damn, Earth can, multiply, into the new dimension. So the astrology of the week, I think we want to get to too, is like that we're in the last lap of Leo. And this is a very important lap because um, what's happened is even the dumbest person on the planet probably knows exactly what they did wrong. Nobody doesn't know what they did wrong. There's no ignorance anymore.
In
We
regards to what?
being whatever we did wrong. The word wrong is relative. Wrong is not according to God. Wrong is according to you. You're God. You create this world. What you regret creating, that's what you did wrong. Things you wish you hadn't created, right? And so those are the things you've done wrong. Whatever. The thing is now that you know what you've done wrong and you created it, you're not going to do it again, most likely. Because they're so wrong. We're talking about the big wrongs, right? Should have never left her. Should have never, And that doesn't matter anyways because you can create all that stuff over again if you want. So no need to cry over it. You can go create it again if you want it again. Shit, you know. You can wear that ride 1,000 times that merry-go-round if you want. You know, you'll get sick of it, but go ahead. So now that we know everything we did wrong, we actually are in no place to make the same mistake ever again. And we're talking about this is just with us personally, right? This unfolds to humans realizing, oh, imprisonment was wrong and not teaching people how to grow and help them heal. Because if they incarnate and they come back, well, fuck, we just fucked ourselves for centuries by just punishing them again. That was stupid. Like, we're going to realize a lot of things were just so stupid, right? Because we didn't know. So it's like, so I know what I've done wrong now. Then society starts to know what it's done wrong. Like, oh, shit. Why do we do it that way? That's crazy. What I mean? Like, oh my God, Jesus, we were stupid. It's like we look back, it's like we look back at the people in the 20s are like, you ate aluminum foil and thought that was going to heal you. Like we look back at like the cure-alls and the shit and you're like, what? They ate pure lead and they thought that was good. Like, yeah, they fed lead to their children. It's like, what? Like fucking idiots. Like it's that level of idiot. Like again, another whole level. But in this last mark of of Leo, this is serious joy. We're in serious joy right now. We're in serious joy, right? And we're just going to own this chapter. We're like, we're calling it serious joy after us, but it is. It's like that's because serious joy means what it means. What it sounds like, serious joy. It doesn't mean the company. It means serious joy. The company is just tagging itself on top of its vibe, and the vibe is that you are in concentrated joy. Like you have concentrated yourself into the joy. It's not just like, ooh, that was fun. Oh, another. This is like joy. Like I'm bringing some joy. It's like a Chris Farley episode, like joy. It's like intense, right? It's like because you know you can. So you're like, bring it. You know, like you use the ride to its limits and see what it can do. Like, no fucking pedal. Try raining elephants that are shitting gumdrops. Like, you're like, I'm gonna create some crazy shit. Like, really pushing the envelope, which is what God gets the most kick out of, is when his children are like, learn the ride and start to impress him. Like, do stuff he maybe hadn't considered. Like that's I think what God's biggest kick is. You do something he didn't think about. Oh fuck, you're promoted.
The
You're
blessings.
promoted. You're promoted. No, you. That's how Archangel Metatron and Sandalphon got that promotion to angel or whatever. They didn't even really get promoted to angel. They were always angels. Metatron actually admitted that in the conference. They were always an angel. That was Earth scripting it wrong. Metatron also said our governments are creating weather. He told a lot of things. He let a lot of secrets out the bag. But in this decan of Leo, this is where you program your game for what the highest fun can be. It's where you tell what the highest joy will be. The steps 20 through 29 Leo. This is mastering joy. Master joy. Close to masturbate, but more enjoyable. It is like incredibly, and these degrees are what your heart is going for, your greatest wish, your greatest magic, your greatest Disney creation, your greatest creation ever. The greatest creation you'll ever make on earth is from step 20 to step 29 Leo. That's the energy of serious joy, where you're just like,
So
am
we're
I
in
alone?
that for like the next week, you're saying?
We're setting that. So we're setting those intentions, which means I want to go there. And as soon as you say I wanna, things start. As soon as you change your point of view, okay, I want this now. The whole reality starts rewriting itself, right? And this is the most magical part of that. And now we know what we've done wrong, and we're not going to do it again. And so, for the first time, we're in the magic zone with no shadow. Not really. We're not afraid of being in the shadows. There's no shadows we're afraid of now. Oh yeah, that's my shadow. I was an alcoholic for 20 years. Whatever. Hey, buddy. Like we become friends with all our shadows. Nothing spooks us. So we're not going to create with shadow now. We're not going to have shadow in the story. No one's going to have shadow in the story. Layer after layer, generation after generation, row after row. No more shadow, no more shadow, no more shadow. That's why the dark's freaking out. They're being written out of script because it's not necessary. It was because we need to realize we were light. Now, realize we were light, step aside. I've got some fun to do. And so shadow for us is just definition. Yep, I'm a little of this, I'm a little of that. I'm never that, I'm never that. And that's just the defining of who we are. Sometimes I'm a rapist in lifetimes, but most of the time I'm not. It's like, like in the game, sometimes I'm bad, sometimes I'm not. We fully accept ourselves for who we are and who we're not. And that's silly to talk about that. Let's talk about what I made over here. Check this beauty out. Check out what I created. Then it becomes like not even a contest, an art school. It's like we're all just like, wow. I mean, when you die, you go to heaven, whatever, company heaven. You're assigned into groups, and those groups go talk. And in those groups, you start talking and discussing your lifetimes together. It's like you were separated in grade school. And all the people who are in that circle were all brilliantly chosen by something even greater than us that chose them for certain reasons because you will learn in that circle with those people. So they're not even the people you always incarnate with. These are strangers watching you have sex with a hooker. You know what I mean? Like all the shit you did, they're all watching it with popcorn up in heaven. And they watch every scene. And the reason is that they're digesting what each other did in those moments, the choices that they made. And they're comparing notes and they're having philosophical discussions about uh, is that work and that work? No, 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 no. And then you're meeting with your guidance counselor, who is basically going to help you plan the next trip. And they're bringing some essence that the people at the table don't know because they're far ahead of students. They're basically interns. They come down and volunteer in this area of heaven and help souls. So there's a whole architecture in the company of heaven. It's the company of heaven because it runs like a company, processing humans and awareness, and it's a lot of work. A lot of concentration, a lot of focus, a lot of consciousness. But when you become an older soul, you can concentrate more and more. That's why the oldest souls are planets, because they can concentrate like crazy to be that planet for a billion years. That's incredible concentration of conscious thought and will to just be a planet, and create a planet, an entire planet with all its beings, all its things. Just think of how incredible this. My Mother Earth is like badass for what she pulls off. I mean, she's just badass. I mean, as far as what planets have pulled off and all the creation, all the varieties of who we are, that's due to her and her ability to be so high resolution because she provides the matter. She says, your life matters. I'm going to give you this opportunity. Therefore, your life matters. I will give you matter. And you bring your essence into my matter and make it matter your way. That's a hell of a mom. That's a hell of a mom. Hold space for that. If you think about that, so much more respect for who she is and has been for centuries, billions of years. You don't get, she's that big. She's as big as a planet. The bigger light you are, the older you are. So this week we ask our hearts, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want? What do I really want? And it's literally like, okay, you can have anything in the world you want. What do you want? Anything. You imagine. So a lot of people will be stumped. I mean, I don't know if everyone realizes this way that I do. I don't know if you realize it. My story was that I came in knowing I've done this before, but not on this planet. And I haven't done this. It's new to me, the features of this planet, stuff like that. That's new. Um, but I do have some memories coming back of planets. I mean, they come in just like a reading. So it's like, it's through the credited door. And so you have until this week to devote. Like today is step 26. Today, you need to start devoting yourself to the direction your heart wants to go. And if you don't know what it looks like, which even if you think you know what it looks like, you don't, because Mother Earth will provide the other half of this, and other people's choices will provide the other half of this. You only can create half of it. I mean, it will be what you want, but it'll have so much more than you ever imagined because so many entities are contributing to that creation, and they're adding to the thing. So you just said, I want a parade. And the fact that your favorite cartoon character from age 5 comes down the parade, that was Judy's work.
That's how
So
that happens.
yeah,
Like the intention somehow is met, but then it's like you just said, so much more, even perfect than I had the capacity to imagine.
it took other imaginations. And what God is really is a matchmaker. Judy wanted to make that float too.
Right.
So she wanted to make that float. Just happens to be the float you always wanted. Right? So it's a matchmaking service. That's what that's the law of attraction is. That's what Aquarius is. Two lines that go together. So all God has to do is sort it. Sort by vibration. And like it just happens, but yes, it's incredible. And so the experience is incredible because it's so much because you get a glimpse of how huge you are as a soul in the depth and in the depth and detail of how life brings it to you. It's like, holy shit, wow, man. I am so deep, I am so old, I am so cool. And that's why God, created realities because he wanted to see how cool he was. Like he had no idea. Like he did not know. He had to get outside himself to see himself, which was a brilliant move, you know. So this week, today's step 26. What you feel, so 26 is what you feel, step 2, and your openness, step 6. So feeling what you're feeling and your openness. And openness is a whole part of you. Open close is a whole part of you. And the open close part of you is the part of you that gets in relationships. The open close part of you is the part of you that opens and closes a movie, open and closes a book, open and closes a door. A part of you is just either opening or closing. That's all it does. That's Libra. And so the Libra part of us and the emotional part of us come together. And so what we can emotionally open up to 100% is what you commit to. If you can't open 100% to it, don't do it. part of you holding back. It's a part of you saying no. And people go, I can make that work. If you held back, the answer is no. There's one that's perfect. There is. There's no, if you're compromising, you're an amateur as far as this is concerned in this world. There's no compromise when you do it right. And you have to trust that that's possible. Don't listen to all the rhetoric that says, what happened was the people who had the most money and stuff, they're really dark. They refused to play ball according to God's game, which is like follow the heart. They just refused. And who knows why? And so then they wanted to like start refusing everyone to their heart, like them. They want us to be like them and, make us into vampires. And so there's a whole force of people out there who tried to hold everything back. And as a result, lied, got in positions of power and then lied and told us that we were born sinners and all this shit and that we're going to go to hell if we don't do what they say, if we don't do these rituals. I mean, they lied to us. So we're so innocent and so creative. We just bought it. But if you think now, it's like, the hokiness of it. It's like, boy, we were hokey. We're on our knees. That's not how it works. You don't have to be on your knees for anything. God's like, what the fuck? Get off your knees. Like, what the fuck? That's him. Getting on his knees to him? It's ridiculous. Imagine if I split myself into a clone and my clone starts bowing to me. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. It's us. Like, so silly that is. You're praying to me now?
Right. Yeah.
I gave you life. Go have fun. You know how cool this is? And you are praying to me. Like, what the hell is this? Like, it's unfathomable. So now it's time to say what your heart wants. And honestly, the way you do it is you convince yourself it's going to happen and you let yourself get excited.
Excitement.
That's how you do it. I mean, well, excitement in the sense of, creativity, creative, thinking about daydreaming.
Serious
You
joy.
know, yeah. I mean, where you're just like, you're not sleeping at night because you can't stop thinking about it.
All right.
And you feel the glow in your heart. I mean, you have to feel your heart just on fire. If your heart's on fire, you are creating some hella reality. Hella reality.
Is there anything specific people should be focusing on day by day? Like I know you
Yes,
started
I
with
mean
today.
from today to tomorrow, so in the United States, anyways, from today lunch to tomorrow lunch, you've got to devote yourself to the direction you want to go, and then tomorrow to the next day, which is Tuesday to Wednesday, you've got to start walking that direction like it's going to happen. The more confidently you walk in that direction, the faster it'll happen. So it depends on how courageous you are. It doesn't matter how ludicrous or crazy it is, because you'll get it one way or another eventually. If you want something that's just ridiculously big, it takes a long time. So bigger the thing, the more time it takes. That's just a matter of space time and the way there's a certain fixed, but not always. You'd be surprised. I mean, sometimes, heaven has shortcuts to shit all the time. So there's always back doors and stuff that get you through in a way you never thought of. There's genius ways it happens and you could have never thought of. And
Yeah.
that's what it's like. That's like when like a guy spills coffee, the car swerves over, hits another car, he gets insurance problem, his insurance goes to $10,000 pays his son then goes to the market, and mine is this, and that thing happens. It's like, and you get the job. It's like, what the, like it's just unfathomable cause and effect, like chains like that. But it happens. God creates it. I mean, you pray for a miracle, you see how it unfolds. You can't believe it. It's like, well, the chances. You say the chances that happening. Yeah, there's no chance. It's called a miracle, right?
Right.
Like miracles happen where it's like there's no chance, and you just turn around and he ran into my friend from Texas, and he said, it's like that stuff is like there's your proof right there. Is how the Matrix like boop, 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 boop. And part of the fun is like holy shit, that was clever. Like just watch how clever this is. Like it's so clever. The reality when it unfolds. It's just stunning. So you act on it. Step 27 tomorrow, the next day, right? Yep. No. Yes. From Tuesday, Wednesday, you act on it. From Wednesday to Thursday, you hug it. 28, you hug it. I love you. I love you. I love this thing. I love it. I'm just committed to it. Oh my God, I'm so happy I have it. I feel I have it. I feel it's here already. I feel it's here already. That's what step 28. It feels here. I feel it's right here under my feet. I can feel it. I feel it right here, right next to me. I can feel it. You feeling it is you making it. That's the womb. You good? Thanks, guys. So that's the womb happening. That's the womb creating it. And then 29 is the orgasm, or what I call the joygasm. 29 is the joygasm. That's what Gary is. He's just a big joygasm. Okay. That is when Gary's just like, and then the fascia's connected to the the hip bone's connected to the leg bone. It's like, when he's like off, like bouncing off the walls like that, he's in joygasm. He is just like, he can't keep up with it. Right. And you're in this space where you're just like, right. And that's step 29. And it's all you. People mess up because the world's coming at you at the same time. Because you're doing this, well, so's the world. Gary, your coffee, your Texas, you're this, you're that. So it's the whole world's coming at you at the same time because you're doing this. And so it's like, and so people like freak out. They start yelling at the world, stop it, stop. And that's like, oh, you failed this one. Sorry. Because to get through 29, you got to pretend the world isn't there. You got to pretend there is no world. It's just you. Make it all about you in that final step.
Okay.
There's no, you're alone on stage. You're in the chamber. You're really asleep in heaven. This doesn't exist. Don't be fooled by the matrix. You can't rise above it if you react to it. So you have to be completely reactionless to the outside world on step 29.
But
That's
you're
how you.
still. This is a question. You're activating things that make you feel joy? Are you in that joy?
You're in a performer mode. You're in a performer mode. So you can't just be smiling like a tourist all day. Um, what's happening is they're like, Chris, your house just burned down. And when that happens, you go, wow, that was clever of us, though, wasn't it? You don't even. So it's like, and your wife is dead. Wow, compelling final act. Who would have thought? You did good there, Chris. That was a brilliant move. Like, you've got to like completely see you as yourself as creator. No emotional reactions to the outer world. Not that you're cold. You're warm as hell to you, the one who made it. And you're enjoying it. You're enjoying it. Because joy is our reality. We are joy. That was I asked Saint I might repeat this, but forgive me. I had a person who channeled Saint Germain on our shows, Astro, who brings us Saint Germain. Saint Germain, my favorite master. He's responsible for the whole ascension. That's his assignment. And so he's been watching the earth since Atlantis. He's been our godfather. He's been Merlin. He's been Christopher Columbus. He's been a lot of famous people. Francis Bacon, which means he's been Shakespeare. He's been a lot of famous people. And because he plays these roles and he gets a kick out of it, and that's who he is. He's fucking cool. That will play like a funky cool. He's a director, puts himself in the film and plays weird characters at weird moments. And he loves that. But the point is like, I asked the channel to ask Jermaine, like, so when you ascended, because he ascended in France after Francis Bacon, so he ascends right after Francis Bacon. So he ascends. Um, he was like super religious zealot at the time. Knew Queen Elizabeth, knew a lot of people, very connected to stuff. Made lots of mistakes. Did some dark fucking things in that lifetime. Dark things that he regrets. Still to this day, will speak with shame about. But but he left. He ascended, and I asked him, what was it? What was the last final like thing in your head that like went bing? That's it. And the answer was, there's only joy. There's only joy. There is nothing else. He realized it. He realized it. He realized that this is not true. This is a play, and all the worlds are about players. And so that was the moment when he, sorry, it just comes out of the matrix. Ascends like, okay, you're out. All right, good job. So what we're working towards is that when your awareness is smarter than the world and the illusion, when you rise above the illusion, you're out of it. And it's all about you because the illusion is you. And the reason why you get stuck in this fucker is because you're stuck in not knowing who you are. If you knew who you were, you would never get stuck. It's a self-realization camp, planet Earth. And it works. Better than anything they've ever designed.
And so what I'm hearing is the joy that you're speaking of isn't the joy that we try to control things to make a situation where we're happy. It's the type of joy that exists beyond all of that, like beyond the story. It's behind all of that, where everything's just happening feeling joyously.
It's God sharing with us the joy of being God.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Oh my God, I'm God. That's the joy. And how much I like myself. Because you cannot create anything you don't like. God is joy. So you cannot create anything you don't like. So you like everything about yourself. You actually are just fucking crazy about yourself. That's the power of creation, is to love yourself infinitely. Loving yourself infinitely is being God, is being creation, is ruling creation. And you don't make it about what you create. You make it about your love for the creator, you. That's what's so mind blowing.
All right, I think that's a strong point to end on. Where can people
Perfect.
find you if they want to know more?
Oh dear. Well, you can come to Serious Joy TV on YouTube. Like Serious Joy TV is our hub. I've been there for 19 years. I can't give myself 20. And I do every week Namaste Today, which is about to be kind of upgraded. In fact, we just did a new Namaste this week, where I do like headlines for the signs. And so I did a story about the eclipse season coming. I did a story about air signs and a story about Leos. And then I do 12 horoscopes for each and every sign. So I coach everyone for free in the public every week on that show. And that's where you start. And then you'll learn about that. I have an app, an online app through browsers, a browser app that will guide you and coach you every day. I have classes that teach you the nature of step astrology and other things. And I have a book coming out. So like I'm just gonna keep putting out what I've discovered. But you can start for free, watch Namaste Today on Friday nights. And then I have Astro Bingo that follows after, where I interview a really compelling light worker and like dive into cool stuff. I mean, stuff I don't have time to interview. I don't have time to investigate. I don't have time to learn all this shit. So I'm just like, come on my show, tell me how it works. And
Yeah.
so we just like dive deep. These are like deep dives with people who do incredible things that who've told nobody because it was fucking batshit crazy. And so they didn't tell anybody. And so they're just happy, like, fine. Your audience is gonna want to listen to this shit. It's like, yep, we want to hear it. It's a cool thing there too because they feel so at home. So it's nice. So those two shows back to back Friday nights, man, hang out with us live. They're all recorded, so you can watch the weekends. Join our email list. You'll see how to you'll see on the YouTube panel. Like here's how to join email list. Here's how you do this. Here's that. Just everything listed on the YouTube. Any one of our shows, any one of them has all of it on there. And pick one you like, and you'll have fun with us. We'll have fun having you in the audience. We have live chats during with live taping. So if we're taping live and you're chatting, I'm watching it and we're interacting with you. So we have live tape days. Like it's really a community experience. Serious joy. Serious joy. Seriously.
Amazing. Yeah, guys, go check that out.
Felt like the
And
star. Yeah.
right, right.
Mhm.
All right, Chris.
Thanks,
Next
buddy.
week, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'm
And guys,
excited. Yeah, and you are
yeah,
literally creating life right now too.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why don't we learn about creation? That's so cool. That was good planning on your.
Everything you said today was like spot on with what's going on with me. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah, the revelation of what I've been doing wrong, like what direction, like a lot of my life is I've been on point, but there's the things that's like, wow, how have I not been paying attention to this for my whole life? And
Yeah.
it's time to pay attention to it.
It also tells you just how when you pay attention to something, how it just rabbit holes. Like in life,
Yeah.
in reality, when we pay attention to something, it is our reality. And that's why you didn't see the other things because you made a different reality. Your entire reality was different. And that's where that's the proof right there. When you see how much you
Ah,
didn't, that's how much, when you see how much you didn't see, you realize you were making a different reality, but that just proves you make reality. It wasn't your
hmm.
reality, man. And now that you're aware, it just wasn't. That's why you ignore it so well. It just wasn't in your reality. And that's the thing,
Right.
guys. Nuclear war is not in Zimbabwe's reality. It's not in their reality. It's not going to happen in their lives. It never will. It's not going to be a thing. It's not going to be a threat. It's not a thing. Right? Like
Yeah.
that's how the Matrix works. That's how it all works. So yeah, it's cool times, man. I'm so excited. This is the most exciting lifetime you could have ever had on Earth. The most exciting time you could ever had. And
Yeah, that's
everything,
wild.
yeah. And it started to heat up, man. Or like,
Right. Yeah.
Trump's like inviting Putin to Alaska. Like, you're gonna see some crazy shit, man. Like, because the more people realize it's not real, the more surreal it gets.
Right.
Okay, so the more people go, this isn't real. Well, what about this? Like it just like keeps up in the ante until we realize it's all not real, and we're like, this cannot be real. And it's like, wait, it's not real. Like, but it's gonna just get to such surreal that some people will freak out, have heart attacks, die. Some people just will not be able to handle it. Like, but they're young. They just started the game. You know, they're young gamers.
Yeah.
Young gamers are gonna flip
And
out
try
and panic.
again.
Yeah, I mean, we were there too. You know, that's okay. Reset.
Right.
Just reset the game. So it's funny. All right, buddy. Always a
All
pleasure.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ciao for
Take care,
now.
everyone.
Bye bye.